Hello, welcome to this week's video announcements. I wanted to start today by talking a little bit about our ongoing stewardship campaign because this is the last week of it. And I wanted to offer a few equations about where we're at right now with our stewardship campaign. So our pledge drive is happening now. I hope you know that by now. If you haven't heard, now is our pledge drive. Your pledges are due March 4th, and March 4th is this Sunday, so less than a week from today. We have our pledges in. The reason we need them in by March 4th is that, if you haven't heard, I'm having a baby this spring, so I'm going to be taking some time off in April and May, which is when we usually do the budget. So we're doing the budget right now. And so it's really, really important for us to have your pledges in by March 4th. And here's why. Because the budget is due March 12th, which you'll see that isn't a lot of time, right? There's just 8 days of leeway there. So you might be wondering, okay, so how are we doing? How many pledges are in? Our total current pledges are 82. We have 82 pledges in as of today, which is great. To all 82 pledge units, thank you so much for getting those pledges in. We really, really appreciate it. However, our pledge goal is 175. So we are only about halfway there. Only about half of you have turned in your pledges so far. And we really need to get to 100% of people turning in their pledges. Because, and here's my final equation, if we only have half of our pledges, we can only create half of our budget. And that's not going to make any of us very happy. So what I'm asking for you to do is, if you have not yet turned in your pledge, we've got 4 steps for you. It's really simple. One is to find your pledge form. You probably have one. We mailed one to you or gave one to you at church. So first, find your pledge form, or you can go online. We have an online pledge form as well, if that's easier for you. The second step is to think about what this church means to you, what this community means to you. I want you to think about that for a few minutes before you fill out your form. Then step 3, as you might have guessed, is to fill out your pledge form. And step 4 is to either click done online if you are filling it out online, or to mail it in to us or drop it off. We'll take it any of those ways. So 4 steps. That's all you have to do. And we're really trying to get as many pledges as we can by this Sunday, March 4th. If we don't hear from you by this Sunday, we are doing a phone-a-thon, as we often do, March 11th. So you will hear from us. If you don't like phone calls, you should get your pledge in before March 11th so that we won't call you that night. And again, to all of you who have gotten your pledges in, I am so grateful that you have already made that commitment for next year, and we're so grateful for your support. I have other announcements too, don't worry. This Saturday is a Faith Formation Volunteer Appreciation Dinner. So if you have been a Faith Formation volunteer this year, you should have received an Evite. Please respond to that Evite so that the folks who are planning that know how many people to expect. This Sunday is a chapel Sunday, so all of our children will be starting in the chapel. And it's also a pulpit swap. So you'll remember back in January, Reverend Carol Strecker was here from the Milford Church, and I was preaching up in Manchester. This Sunday, Reverend Patrick McLaughlin from the Manchester Church will be here, and I will be in Milford. And Patrick's great. I hope you'll come out and be with him this Sunday. Also this Sunday, we have our next Intro to UU class. That's for anyone who wants to learn a little bit more about Unitarian Universalism or get a refresher. That's at 11:45 in the fellowship room. This Sunday is also the first of 4 rehearsals for an all-ages choir that is going to be singing on Easter. So Easter Sunday this year is April 1st, coming up in just a little over a month. And children, youth, and adults are all invited to participate in the presentation of the song, The Promise of the Garden. during the Sunday service on April 1st. Rehearsals will take place Sundays after the service in the chapel from 11:30 to noon, March 4th, March 11th, March 18th, and March 25th, so the next 4 weeks. And they'd love for you to be able to make at least 2 or 3 of those. You can reach out to Kathleen Griffiths for more information or just show up to a rehearsal if you're interested. Also, this Sunday is the second session of that end of life planning workshop that I am leading. We had a great first session, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of the same people. If you didn't come to the first session, you can still come to the second and third sessions. That's 2 to 3:30 in the chapel, and I am asking folks to sign up. I'll put the link in the comments for that. The Immigrant Solidarity Vigils up in Manchester are ongoing. The next one is 8:30 a.m. on Tuesday, March 6th at the Norris Cotton Federal Building. I will be there. I hope to see some of you as well. There is a youth group overnight being planned for March 9th. Stay tuned for more details if you are part of the youth group or a parent of one of our youth. Our UU hikers are going to J. Harry Rich State Forest in Groton, Mass. on Saturday, March 10th. It's an easy 2-mile hike, good for hikers of all ages. They'll be carpooling at 9 a.m. from the Exit 7 Park and Ride. And we'll be back around noon. We have one more session of Exploring Membership coming up. So Exploring Membership is our session for folks who are interested in becoming members of the congregation or learning more about membership. The next session is March 11th at 11:45 a.m. until 1:15 p.m. So that's a Sunday right after church, really easy. And we are asking folks to sign up for that. So if you're interested, I'll put the link in the comments for where you can sign up for that. On March 18th, our Long Range Planning Committee is holding the second of their 2 cottage meetings. They had the first one a couple weeks ago. To ask, how do you envision our UU Church of Nashua 5, 10, 20 years into the future? And they're particularly hoping that folks who are newer to the congregation will come out to this. It doesn't matter if you've been here 1 year, 1 month, 5 years, 50 years. They really want your input on this long-range planning. And they are providing lunch. It's March 18th from noon to 1:30, so they really need you to sign up for that if you're going to attend. And I'll put the link for that sign up in the comments as well. And if you can't make it to that cottage meeting and couldn't make it to the other one, there's going to be an online survey going out as well this week. And actually, I have the link to that I'll also put in the comments. So if you can't make it to either of those cottage meetings, we're going to ask the same questions online and are hoping that you'll fill that out. On Saturday, March 24th at 8:30 a.m., we're going to have our next Connections Summit. There'll be time for a potluck breakfast for making connections, and I'll be leading a conversation about generational differences in church life. There is childcare available on request. You can contact Pat Ledoux to sign up. And look for an email from Sadie if you are interested in getting involved in a local UU project to start a UU Monastery Retreat Center at a farm up in Derry, New Hampshire. So look out for an email from Sadie about that. And we are looking for ushers and greeters. I'll put the link to sign up to be an usher or greeter in the comments so that you can do that. So that's all I've got for this week. If you have anything you want me to include next week, just send it to me by 9 a.m. on Monday morning, or on Tuesday morning, not Monday. And this week, I hope you have a wonderful week. If you're off on school vacation somewhere, I hope that you're having a great time, and make sure to get that pledge in.